There's now less than a month until the Backrooms movie releases, meaning there's less than a month for me to solve it, so bear with me as I reveal the truth before your own eyes and ears. I might even get a thing right or two. I actually have no doubt that I'm wrong about anything here, and I will warn you for potential spoilers, because what I'm going to be talking about will go in depth, and I'll even share some insider info from a test screener that spoke out to me that could tell the fate of not one, but both of these main characters, and the importance of the hazmat suits, as well as some information on how the movie could start. If that's what you're looking for, I don't blame you at all. Go at it. Essentially, there's been a load of content being shot at me. Jeez, that did not sound right. But numerous amount of new photos and even another teaser have been released in the past couple weeks since the trailer came out. And I'll be looking through every square inch of those photos just to tell you if that's jam or not. Let's get into it. Just before I begin editing this video, a new teaser is posted and skyrocketed across the internet for the Backrooms movie, just in time for me to talk about it. In the trailer we see multiple new shots, some even from the exclusive photos that were released, which this whole video is going to be about beforehand. And before I get into it, here it is.
I found a place.
A place.
It's massive in there.
What is this?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I just take it slow.
Oh, God.
Pull me up, pull me up, pull me up!
Are you ready to step through?
There's something that stands out to me the most in this news teaser, the entity and the life form. To start off, we're shown an area that we've seen before from one of the exclusive photos, coming from the POV of a hole inside the wall, which we saw as well in another exclusive photo. But behind Clark in this frame, you could see a throne. Recognize it? On the map Clark drew in the trailer, I pointed out in my last video that there's a throne room, but I could never make out what it was. And you could even see the hole leading to another room. This room is also fully enclosed on the map, meaning he had to go look at it. So in result, this is the throne room he's standing in. And finally, the most important part of this teaser is at the end. And it's hard if you don't look closely, but after the guy in Clark's team is reeled down into a deep area in the back room, he finds a dirty and tighter room compared to the others in the complex. But in the shadows hides the entity, and specifically the life form. I didn't actually expect them to use this guy, even though there's hints of him in the trailer, and I kinda hope they hadn't, but I'm still very excited. And it seems like the guy in Clark's team is brought all the way up, because you can see him being pulled back up to the top, and it's pretty far down, so I wouldn't doubt he made it. A day later, it happened again. Now even more teasers have been released. Yet another 30-second clip. In this teaser, we're shown one new scene, giving another look from the chase scene at the original Backrooms location, recreated. And Kane goes one step further because he shows the original version that I even showed in the last video. Now let's dive into these images and what they can mean. The first two images I'd like to basically skip over are the two that we've seen from the trailer already, which is of him walking to the caveman cardboard cutout in the moment he tried going back to the front rooms through the no zone that he fell through. We were also given a behind the scenes look of the actor playing Clark, because I am not pronouncing his name for the third time. 3 videos in a row. I've gotten it wrong enough. And of course, Kane Parsons, who is Kane Pixels himself, the director if you didn't know. And what I noticed about this is on the left of the image, there's a hole in the side of the wall that is not at the bottom, not the top, but in the middle. And next to it, a ladder. I don't know if this is for the camera crew at all, but right now I'm considering it part of the set. This confirms my theory of the ladder entrance, which is heavily used in Backrooms games alike to transition to another level. But of course, levels don't exist in Kane's versions of the backroom and are instead areas like level 188 and found footage 1. So I'm considering this as another way to travel between rooms in the corridors. I did notice Clark could be pulling out furniture from the backrooms, as I suggested to him in the last video, which is definitely something he did for me. I guarantee it. In all seriousness, if we compare the state of the basement in the start of the trailer from before Clark discovered the backrooms and after when his therapist came to discover it, there's more furniture in the room. And not only that, but it's stacked, as well as a whiteboard with yet another map that I haven't heard anyone talk about. And guess what? You can make out a person on it, shaded in black. I chose not to talk about this instead of the new photo we got of the therapist looking back before entering the no zone, because there's not much you could discover about it. And I tried to find out what it was that phased her in this photo by looking around the room, and ultimately found these cool details. Also, I never mentioned that when she goes in, she likely never comes out of it, which I'm basing off of her condition, using her clothes as a way to tell. In the next photo, we see Clark looking through someone's window and not his therapist's window, which makes me want to itch my brain because the clothes in both of these scenes connect, but the setting isn't the same. Got rhyme there. And it's not the same as the ones in her home either. And it doesn't seem to be the furniture store because behind him is a house. So what could this be? Tell me what you think in the comments. But I have a theory for later. When I did my theory for the Finest of Phrase 2 movie, I was wrong about basically everything. And I have blamed that on the director for there being 3 nights in the movie. But it was also because I couldn't make out the characters' clothes. And in a movie this bright, it wasn't that hard for me to make out what the story could end up like. So thanks, Kane, I guess? But I wouldn't doubt me if I were you. And sorry if I'm spoiling everything to y'all. You chose to click on his video anyway. The second to last photo is of Clark's team, and I'm guessing their first time meeting him to figure out what's in the back rooms. I'm assuming these aren't his employees because they aren't in uniform, and both shots of them with different clothing, which also makes me think they don't just visit the back rooms once. In the final on-set photo, we see Dr. Mary Klein in a neighborhood that is in the back rooms. Could this be from when they shot in that neighborhood at night? And could they have used CGI to fill in the background of Backrooms wallpaper? Possibly being the reason why they needed those bright lights. It's really hard to tell, but by looking hard enough online and searching for what a full view of this neighborhood could be like, it is the exact same. Matching with the windows of the garage and the roofs of the houses, I don't see anything different. I mean, even the fences are the same. Could this also be the same neighborhood of the house Clark was looking into? Because the roof is also the exact same, with the white rim and gray tiles. Gosh, I can't wait till this movie is out and we can finally see the full set. I've been wondering this whole time how they make it look so real. Lastly, we recently got an exclusive picture posted by Kane himself on Twitter, which not only proves that the suits in this movie aren't CGI, but that the movie is finished in post-production. As the caption states, that's a wrap on Backrooms. My only concern is that this movie is edited and directed solely by Kane Pixels and could result in a leak much like Paramount's recent Aang, The Last Airbender, which I spoke about in my previous video. Considering that this is one person handling the final product in the movie, there could be some potential dangers of it being released to the public early, and of course not legally. Throughout the many days of waiting, I have yet to see any bad reviews coming from test screeners, and one even left me further context on my last video. The comment read, "The people in the hazmat suits are technically the main characters. It's not the therapist or the patient, at least not for the entire film. There's a reason they call it found footage." There's also one monster, a life form, I'd say that you don't see until the very end. I don't know anything about the lore, but I went to a test screening. I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10. Seems like the movie expects you to know a little about the lore to give the plot a deeper meaning. Obviously, after reading up on the lore after seeing it, I can say I could see people giving it an 8 out of 10. Definitely something I'd have paid to see regardless. I think this might be a hit. To summarize, very straightforward. There's a monster, which doesn't appear toward the end of the movie. The hazmat suits have a huge importance in the movie, and it seems like they even get more screen time than the main characters themselves. And this movie requires a hint of knowledge before fully understanding it. And I'd like to pinpoint one thing. This comment says specifically, there's a reason why they call it found footage. And in this context, he says the other characters aren't essentially the main characters of the film, which makes me believe that either one of them could die, maybe even both. If I were to choose, it's obviously the patient, and I blame that on his obsession over the backrooms, and you might even think I'm crazy for saying this, because the therapist is literally covered in blood in the trailer, but I'll stick to my own beliefs, and he's the one who holds the camera, along with his crew. During a panel at CCXP in Mexico, Kane Parsons was given the chance to speak about the backrooms, where it was revealed that the set is 30,000 square feet, where the actors would get lost, and practically anyone on the set. For your information, 30,000 square feet looks like this. Crazy. The people there were even shown an exclusive clip of the movie, which is rumored to be the intro, maybe first 5 minutes of the movie. Anyway, here's how it went, and I'll be saying this exactly as how I heard it online, word for word. I'm not changing a thing. In the clip, we see Clark watching a commercial from the 90s on his television with the man dressed as a cowboy, but it cuts to a version of the complex depicting a dark opening with a TV cable. The TV shuts off on its own, the lights flicker. Clark believes it's faulty wiring and goes to the breaker. He is visibly frustrated. He turns off all the switches, but nothing happens. He powers down everything, but when he turns it back on, the lights didn't turn on. And this is where he finds the entrance to the back rooms. He approaches it and leans in to listen, where he falls face first. All I have to say is that I was right. Everyone, I was right. And about the most useless piece of information ever, of him falling in face first. It's dumb, I know. I said this in my last video, seeing as in the trailer he seemingly walks in without being in the kneeling position that he's in afterward. That of him being fully inside the backrooms. I give all of my credit for the next section of this video to the YouTuber Little Red SM, who helped me pile up this information in a short little bit. Not meaning we talked about this. I'm not that important, guys. Moving on, commercials for Cap and Clark's Ottoman Empire started playing across various TV channels, such as Pluto TV, as a way to promote the movie, and within it there were some hidden secrets. Let's talk about it. To start off, in the context of the commercial, a map is mentioned by Clark, which we could obviously relate to the one he mapped out and gave to his therapist, Dr. Mary Klein. He also references the no zone, possibly not on purpose, because this commercial aired on May 17, 1990. I'll get into it later, which is months before the time he first entered the Backrooms, which we know is in April from the camera in the trailer. And lastly, there's a phone number at the top of the advertisement that plays a static noise, but if you look to the left of it, what I didn't notice, along with the female YouTuber I mentioned, funny enough, there's a fax signage, and when faxed, you get a flyer. After scanning the flyer, you can notice it shows a real location, which someone has actually visited. Although it seems like there could be a significance because it's a real life place that anyone could visit themselves if not far enough, nothing has actually been found that relates to the Backrooms at all there. My guess is that it's just a filler location for the setting of this movie and for the sake of the flyer. There's also a tee for the flyer that A24 is selling, which you could purchase on their website. It's just a little moved around. Throughout the flyer, there are multiple references to the Backrooms through pirate-like adjectives, and it's even stated in the commercial. It's almost as if this pirate got lost in the sea. And again, the Backrooms is referenced in itself with 3 words, one of them indented. Those words are carpets, wallpaper, and lighting. To go even further, the image in the flyer is mirrored, which makes me wonder, could this flyer have been found in the Backrooms, which explains why it could be this way? Now let me tell you about someone named Peter, who worked at Async and got lost in the Backrooms, experiencing a time skip. Upon his return to the real world, he was taught to better become one with society again, and the workers at Async attempt to make him forget what happened and believe it wasn't real. After adjusting, he created drawings of his experiences outside of the Backrooms, one including him standing in front of the threshold with a variety of people in front of him, but more so faded than actually there. And if you look at the bottom right hand corner, you could make out in a slanted writing the date, which is May 17, 1990. And if we go back to the Ottoman Empire flyer, that same date is seen in the top left corner. But what can we make of this? So Red's theory is that Peter may have seen this commercial, considering that he disappeared or either came back on that day, which could have helped him remember a way to escape, or he just saw it in general, because on one of his other drawings there's a sea colored in yellow with a tent over it, that of which is reminiscent of the Backrooms in the Ottoman Empire commercial. That's about it for the commercial, and the flyer that you are able to fax out using the number at the top of the advertisement. It's a lot more details than I imagined anyone being able to pinpoint, and I'm excited to see more of these tiny promotions for the Backrooms movie, considering it's not common we get these in cinema. Some people just think they're the best. Not too long ago, we were given some major cast updates, and before I get into it, there have been a lot of rumors spread regarding the cast of the Backrooms that I can confirm are not true at all, which is McKenna Grace being an, I quote, major role, as well as Lady Gaga, and we all know neither of that is happening, nor will they be in the movie at all. This is information that would have been confirmed months ago if true, and the movie is already finished. Why would we be hearing this now? For all I know, there won't be any major roles being revealed now that the movie is finished in post-production. As for the official cast updates, there are not 2, but 3 more actors confirmed for this movie, who are Philip Granger, Toby Hargrave, and Patrick Bainham. And I admit, there are people I haven't heard of, although a couple of you might connect Patrick Bainham to Patrick Bateman, but of course, he's just not him. I actually talked about it in my last video and knew that he'd appear soon enough in the cast list, so props to me for that. But we haven't seen any of these 3 appear yet in teasers leading up to the movie, as well as Mark Duplass. Besides some leaked behind the scenes pictures on Twitter that I will show on screen, I've been glazing this pic for so long, and my theory is that he might be the guy working for Async that's going crazy in that suit. To conclude, here's the official cast list as of now. That's about it of what's to come for this movie, and if I were you, I would expect a trailer on the way, and most likely in early to mid-May of this year. Why wouldn't it be this year? I'll see you all when the news comes out. For now, thank you for watching. Goodbye, my lovelies.